Okay, good morning guys, and welcome to our fifth session in our subject ITAS 1. So we are going to continue the discussion on repetition structures. So basically, what we're going to have is activity number 9 and number 10. So before that, we are now on unit 1 still, chapter 3 continuation, and of our topic, repetition structures. So our objectives for this morning is number 1, explain the logic behind repetition structures. Number 2, design and develop appropriate algorithms with exception handling techniques. And number 3, appreciate the use of try, catch, finally. So for topic number 9, we have for each loop. And for each loop is part of your repetition structures, which has the looping statements. So for each loop, looping in programming languages or in language is the way to execute a statement or a set of statements multiple numbers of times depending on the result of the condition to be evaluated. And then the resulting condition could be true to execute statements with loops. Okay, so for each loop is used to iterate over the elements of the collection. So maghambal kita ng iterate, it means it improves the it corrects, it improves the statement for the looping. So as far as we can have for the figure 10 for each loop flowchart, it all started with the start here, then the condition statements for the element and collection. Now if you say yes, the statement will be executed depending on the statement. Usually on our syntax here, the statement is found on the body of the program. So after the statement is being executed, you will be going back to the element and collection, and if you answer no, the program will be terminated. So that is the flowchart of your for each loop. Now, your for each loop, when working with arrays and collection to iterate through the items of arrays or the collection. Now, the array, for the array naman guys, arrays in programming languages is a looping within a looping statement. So, you will find out later on our code here that you can see. Now, if this is the body of the program, you can see inside may mga looping statement siya. So, a for loop is a looping within the looping. So, looping statement, pero sa sulod niya may loop statement pagid. Whereas, gagamit ka mo ka array, this is significant, array is just the looping statement within each loop. That's why, guys, our topic number 9 is for each loop. So, maghambal kita for each loop. When working with arrays and collection to iterate through the items of the collection, it iterates through each item, meaning to say sa kada loop niya, gina-modify niya. So that is why it's called for each loop. So karon makita ninyo guys ang namin ko kung paano niya gina-island ang value. Depende sa statement or sa code nga ginabutang ninyo. In this case, sa body of the program, you can see here that it is declared as integer and its iteration is a collection of numbers within sa increment niya. So, naga-increment siya means to say pasunod 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, gataas. But you can actually make it decreasing. So, mag-decrease naman. Pareho sa statement karang last times activity, number 8 ata or number 7, pabalik siya or panaba. So, decrement, minus. Okay. The for each loop, again, iterates through each item. That is why it's called for each loop. It operates on collection of items. For instance, the arrays or other built-in list types. So, there are certain list types that you can find on the program. So, we will copy this. And let's try to program now. So, what we're going to do is to copy an I. Okay, so we are still copying this, but during face-to-face class, guys, i-encode gid naton sa pasunod. So So, okay, we're going to enable our online IDE, and then we're going to have the code chef for the online IDE so that we can run the program. Okay, so what we're going to do is to change the configuration to C# and then paste the program. Okay, so the explanation for the program before we proceed. Okay, so the una guys, we have the C program to illustrate the use for each loop. Then still we're going to the recall using systems, using the library for the system. In this case, what we did is we use system program. So again, the explanation for this is para nga hindi doon natin pag-encode ang system nga library. So sa library ka system, gin-recall lang natin siya. So we using system ang configuration. So we declare a class for GFG, and then the static void main, meaning static void main is we start with nothing, we start with 0. So in the console, we are going to print array, and then the content of the array is found here on the body of the program. Now depending on how many items you want to put in this case it's 1 to 7, and then we'll see kung ano yagwa na karon sa program, maging copy natin. So compiling the program or running it, we're going to click run. Okay, so the you can see here the number of arrays that you can find. So print array, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 7 until 7. So just because sa code natin is until 7 lang siya. So if kundugangan natin siya, okay, let's see kung ano yagwa na. Okay, what happened? Okay, so go compile. Pasensya lang kamo guys, ano yung internet guys, naga-bisyo. Okay, so all right. So we have the input until 10. Okay, so on your activity, why don't you dugangan ninyo guys, no, until konpera na butang ninyo dayan. So you can actually modify this. If you're going to put zeros here, it becomes 10, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So to run this, okay, so we have for the output 10, 20, 30, 40 until 100. Okay, so that will be our activity number 9. Okay, so guys, before we proceed with activity number 10, why don't you raise your hand, Anay, if you can follow what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so very good reaction. Thank you. Oh, do si Enrique lang gid nagabugtaw do karon natuyo pa kamo. Okay, again, please raise your hand, then we'll continue with our activity number 10. Okay, sige. Okay, thank you for your reaction. We'll continue with our discussion. Sige. For activity number 10 naman, we have the recursion. And when we speak about recursion, this is the function that calls another function, which is normal, but when the function call itself, then that is a recursive function. So in the array, guys, we have the repeating structures for this, and as I've said, array is found on the looping statements. Whereas ang recursion naman, this is a function that you can find inside the function. So the process in which the function call itself directly or indirectly is called a recursion, and the corresponding function is called a recursive function. So hindi ka mo confuse guys because ang recursion is just the iteration of some things, pero instead of recalling pareho kagina sa class tab lang ang declaration, nga recall na lang ang library. Ang diyan naman is recalling ang kabilogan sa itself, meaning ang bilog nga code. So think of it lang as a bit of pieces of code nga combine ninyo and then run. So that is a recursive function. So the syntax is found here, the int and the fact, or integer inside the n, meaning the declaration for the integer is inside a certain process for the integer function. So it's found on the global view or the local variable kaysa sa ka body of the program. Ang makita lang ninyo di sa body of the program is the precondition for the if statement and the else statement. So in recursion, we are using if-else statement. So makita ninyo di ang example na di sa syntax naton. Now, kay tungod nga utod ang code naton, so we're going to test, copy paste this bit by bit, no? So copy, and then this one, paste naton da. Now then press enter para nga ano siya, next line. Before we proceed sa copy naton de, may i-modify kita karon nga code, no, kay nagalapaw siya sa ano. So ano naton siya, copy. Now before we proceed with the activity, you will notice nga wala siya ang recursion wala siya flowchart. It's because a recursion is just a statement, and compare it with other looping statements nga may ideal sanda nga padulungan sa flowcharting. May adtunan bala kung baga, may precondition siya mo kag may start kag may end. So this one is it depends upon the recalling function, so that is why you don't need a flowchart for this. Okay, so going back sa code naton, then i-paste naton siya. Okay, to modify, okay, so sa modification niya, pasakaon naton ang iba naton nga code. Like for instance, this one, apart pa dyan ang sasunod mo. So, tadlongon ta, and then another one is the void main string. Then this one, pasakaon din nyo siya. Because that is part of the code. Okay, so we're ready. If we're going to run the program, okay, so we have the answer here. Okay, so we have 3 2 1 1 3 2 1 1 2 3. So that is recursive. So kung ang recursive naton is opposites, the opposite siya opposite ang value. So if you put there 1 2 3 4 5, then 3 2 1 ang sunod niya. So natawan niyo bla 3 2 1, then 1 2 3. So amo day recursive. So you can put recursive function as like a mirroring function. So for example, if you are going to download files from the internet, instead of using the alternate link, when you have mirroring, you use the other link nga alternative niya. Although the same ang value, pero mirror siya, so reflective ang output. So that is recursive function. Okay, so we're going print fun text for the integer of 3. What if we're going to instead of 3, we're going to make it 5. So this is another example. Okay, so you can see here 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5. So if we start with 10, I'm sorry, 10. Okay, you're gonna make this as 10. And what if you're going to make this 100? So run natin siya. Okay, so this is the output. So as you can see, guys, as I've told you, before you experiment on the value that you can see. The values are colored red, no? So before you do that, i-run nyo yung program, then you can experiment with different values. Okay? So kung hindi siya 10, what about kung 1 abi, no, instead of 10? Then the same man 100 ang value sa print test na to. So what happened? Okay, so this one. Halin sa 100 pakadto sa 1 na, then halin sa 1 pakadto sa 100. So opposite siya. Okay. So what if kon 1,000 abi? Run. Okay, so mabuta ang page naton na starting from 1,000 to going to 1,000. So what if kon 1 million abi, no? Pira ka zero ya 1 million. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 million. Then run. So the same. So lawig-lawig 1 million pakadto sa 1. Okay, so that is our recursive function, guys. Okay. So do you have any question regarding our activity for this week? Guys, do you have any question? Okay, so I hope clear ang naton, ha, ang instruction for the 2 activities. Tomorrow I will open your quiz. Don't forget to answer it from 10 a.m. until midnight. Okay, so then please update yourselves with ang ang face-to-face classes sa schedule. So I don't know kung saan oday maybe on the 3rd week siguro, no. Lantawalan ninyo kung na-post doon sa CCS nga Okay? Sige. So thank you very much, guys, for attending our class this morning. I hope that you learned something new. And I'll see you in our face-to-face class. I don't know when. Or maybe kung hindi pakita ka klase sa laboratory, we can still klase an idea sa online. So for the meantime. Okay, so I'll just print screen now for your attendance. Please ask question right now so that we can answer it. Okay, so sige. So this will serve as your attendance, and thank you very much. Please attend your orientation on disaster management class. Importante before you proceed with your face-to-face classes. Okay? Okay, so thank you, guys, and good morning, gid sa tanan. See you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.